This is the Iowa Weather Report for Wednesday, October 9th, 2013. And now our first look at the 0Z GFS model run. At 1 p.m. this afternoon, we have a big trough digging into the southern parts of California and central California, a ridge over the south and east with a bit of a weakness over the Carolinas and the Mid-Atlantic. That's going to be with some of the remnants of what was once Karen in the Gulf moving up the east coast with some rain in the mid-Atlantic moving into New England, and then the storm out to the west with some rain and a little bit of high elevation snow, especially in the Sierra Nevada mountains. That system moves into the Four Corners region here on Thursday. The storm on the east coast moves up into New England and still over the mid-Atlantic. Around here it's still fairly sunny and fairly warm with highs in the 70s and winds out of the south both today and tomorrow. But that system in the Four Corners region lifts out into the Dakotas here Friday. That could bring some showers and maybe a thunderstorm across the area. It'll be very isolated to scattered at most, with the main energy moving to our north and west. The front moves through by Saturday at midday, and that'll begin to clear the skies. The temperatures will drop into the 60s to near 70, with only early day rain in the eastern counties on Saturday. And then as we move into Sunday, we'll be in between storms, a decaying front to our east, and some moisture with the disturbance coming up from our west. So it'll be somewhat quiet and dry Sunday and sunny with highs around 70, but then the rain moves back in, a low pressure center south of Kansas City. That'll put us on the cooler side with a bit of an easterly wind. Temperatures likely held down in the 50s. It'll be kind of raw, kind of rainy off and on. And then the cold air comes in here on Tuesday. The 540 line dips into the central part of the state. That means we could see some wraparound rain that could be mixed with a little bit of graupel or ice pellets. We'll have to wait and see. A week from today, that trough is now off to our east. Some energy is moving in from Canada into the Dakotas, however, as we're coming under a northwesterly flow. And that northwesterly flow is going to keep the temperatures somewhat cool, highs likely in the 50s and 60s across the area, with some rain along the east coast, a little bit of rain in North Dakota and over the Great Lakes, and maybe along the Gulf Coast as well. Going into the extended period on October the 20th, kind of a wavy pattern, a bit of some energy just off the New England coast, some over the Pacific Northwest. Otherwise, it's fairly zonal elsewhere, but around here we'll have winds out of the south, temperatures likely back into the 60s to maybe low 70s, but a high pressure to our north looks to be taking aim at the United States from Canada, and that frontal system will then move in, and then by the end of the forecast period on October the 24th, we have a trough over, from about the Rockies to about the Great Lakes, bit of a ridge trying to hold on over Florida, and also over western Canada, and the cold air is going to be dumping into the Great Lakes and maybe into New England. A frontal system will be just departing the state with some showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two to our south, and much cooler weather with highs likely only in the 50s to near 60. Satellite image from last evening, we had the disturbance moving up the east coast over the mid-Atlantic and the Carolinas, a few high and mid-level clouds over the plains up into the upper Midwest, and the next storm moving into California and Nevada. The watch warning map from last evening, frost and freeze advisories scattered amongst the New England states, some winter weather issues in the Sierra Nevadas, and also winter storm watches in the Colorado Rockies. Elsewhere, it's fairly calm. QPF chart precipitation over the next 5 days through Sunday evening at 7 o'clock, showing rainfall around here could be from about nothing or maybe a few hundredths to upwards of a quarter of an inch. The heaviest will be over the mid-Atlantic into southern New England.